The stadium went silent before the sound exploded. Not the kind of silence you expect in October baseball, but the kind that feels like the world itself is holding its breath, waiting for one swing to decide everything. Under the cold Bronx lights, with the season hanging by a thread, Aaron Judge stepped into the box as if he already knew what was coming. His face was calm, almost unsettlingly calm, while 47,000 people trembled behind him. This wasn't just another at-bat. This was a moment that would either haunt New York for years, or live forever. The Yankees were on the edge. Down in the ALDS. Down in Game 3. Down on the scoreboard. And down emotionally after watching the Blue Jays silence the Bronx just days earlier. The ghosts of October failures were whispering again, loud enough for everyone to hear. Toronto had come into this series fearless. Young, aggressive, and unapologetically confident. They didn't care about pinstripes or banners or legends. They came to win. And through the first half of this game, it looked like they were about to do just that. Early on, the Blue Jays struck first. A sharp double into the gap. A sacrifice fly. Then another run scratched across on a seeing eye single that somehow found grass. Each run felt heavier than the last, pressing down on the Yankees' dugout like a storm cloud that refused to move. The crowd tried to stay alive. They stood. They clapped. They roared. But there was tension in every cheer. Yankees fans have learned what hope can cost in October. They've learned how quickly it can turn into heartbreak. On the mound, the Yankees starter battled. He bent, but he didn't break. Every pitch was a war. Every out felt earned. And slowly, almost quietly, he kept the game within reach. Not close enough to feel safe, but close enough to dream. By the middle innings, that dream felt fragile. The Yankees' bats were quiet. Too quiet. Fly balls died in the outfield. Line drives found gloves. Each inning that passed felt like sand slipping through an hourglass. In the Blue Jays' dugout, confidence grew. They laughed. They leaned on the railing. They looked like a team that believed destiny was wearing blue and white, not navy pinstripes. Then something shifted. It didn't come with fireworks or a home run. It came with a walk. A long at-bat. A foul ball that barely missed the foul pole. The kind of small moment most people forget, but October never does. The Yankees put a runner on. Then another. The crowd rose, sensing the pulse change. The noise grew louder, rougher, more desperate. This wasn't celebration. This was survival. A ground ball moved the runners. A single brought one run home. Suddenly, the deficit didn't feel impossible anymore. Suddenly, the Bronx remembered how belief feels. And then, Aaron Judge walked toward the plate. The air changed instantly. Phones came out. People stood on their seats. Even Blue Jays fans watching from home leaned closer to their screens. Because everyone knows, when Judge is locked in, baseball feels smaller. Like it's bending around him. The pitcher took his time. Too much time. He wiped his hands, adjusted his cap, took a deep breath that didn't calm anything. He knew what was at stake. He knew who was standing 60 feet away. The first pitch came in fast and inside. Judge didn't swing. Ball one. The crowd roared anyway. They weren't cheering the pitch, they were cheering the patience. The second pitch was a slider, hanging just long enough to tease disaster. Judge fouled it back, and the sound alone made people gasp. That was close. Too close. The pitcher shook his head. The catcher called for something else. Something safer. Something away. The pitch came. And time slowed. Judge's swing was violent, beautiful, and inevitable. The crack of the bat didn't echo, it thundered. The ball rose, cutting through the night like it had somewhere important to be. Everyone watched. Outfielders turned and ran, but they already knew. The ball wasn't coming down. It wasn't even thinking about it. As it cleared the wall, the stadium detonated. People screamed. Strangers hugged. Grown adults cried without shame. Aaron Judge didn't flip his bat. He didn't shout. He just watched, nodded once, and started his trot like a man fulfilling a promise. In one swing, the Yankees were alive. The scoreboard flipped. The lead was theirs. And suddenly, the pressure had a new address, Toronto. But October doesn't end with one moment. It demands more. The Blue Jays came back swinging, trying to steal momentum right back. A walk. A hard-hit ball. A runner in scoring position. The tying run on base. Every pitch now felt like it could rewrite the night. The Yankees bullpen answered the call. One strikeout. Then another. A fastball painted on the corner that froze the hitter and sent the crowd into madness. The Bronx fed off every out, louder and louder, daring fate to try again. By the ninth inning, the tension was unbearable. 3 outs away. 3 outs from turning a series around. 3 outs from reminding the world that this team, this city, still knows how to fight. The final batter stepped in. The closer stared him down. The crowd stood as one, arms raised, voices cracking. Strike one. Strike two. The batter fouled off the next pitch, refusing to go quietly. October never lets anyone leave quietly. Then the final pitch came, a sharp breaking ball diving into history. Swing and miss. Game over. The Yankees poured out of the dugout, gloves flying, smiles breaking through months of pressure and doubt. Aaron Judge was mobbed, but he stayed composed, like he knew this wasn't the end of the story, just a turning point. As the crowd slowly spilled into the night, one feeling followed them home: belief. Not blind hope, not nostalgia, but belief earned in the hardest way, under pressure, under doubt, under the brightest lights baseball can offer. Game 3 wasn't just a win. It was a reminder. In October, legends don't ask for permission. They announce themselves with a swing, and leave the rest of the world to catch its breath.